David in Charlotte, North Carolina. See more better with ChristianEyewear.com, where believing is seeing. Today I'm going to cut your Zeiss Light D digital freeform progressive polarized gray lenses for your Christian eyewear. This is model number John 316. It is the sunglass. It comes with black with silver crosses on each temple. And again, this is Christian eyewear, designed in USA by me. And again, this is model number John 316 in black, 55 eye size, 18 bridge, 145 temple length. And I'm going to take out your original demo lenses and put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker. I need to program this shape into the computer so that years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I can cut them to this shape with all the parameters here and mail them to your home, and you'll see how to pop them in. You are Secret Agent 2987. So let's program that into the database. I'm going to, let me clean up here. Let me clean up. I'm going to hit the start button. A little stylus is going to pop up, go around, trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at ChristianEyewear.com. Your new home of free prescription lenses, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy any frame that I offer and you will receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you'll get reimbursed for this purchase. Now, you get the full reimbursement from your health savings account. I do not accept any vision insurances. I'm considered out of network, but if you submit one of my itemized receipt that I can provide upon request, you will get your out-of-network reimbursement from your insurance company, assume mailed right to your home in the form of a check. Now, that is the shape that I'll be cutting. I'm going to move on to the next screen. I need to enter your pupillary distance, which is 34.5 for each eye. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap the plus button a few times. It goes up in half millimeter increments to 24.5. I want to raise the optical center height up to 24. Change the layout screen from single vision to progressive. Now, this blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that and inset inside these orange crosshairs. Now, one of these is marked right. I'm going to go ahead and place that onto the platform, but I need to attach these to your lens. This is known as a block. This is what's going to hold it in place in the lathe while it is cutting. So I need two double-sided adhesive stickers, of which the black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick one onto the first block, place that onto the platform, do the same thing now for the second one. Stick that on there, pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up that silver button on the back as a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. And I'm going to get everything laid out as such. The lenses come with 3 black dots on there. You want to see something cool? Look at that effect. That's how Polarized works over a computer screen, which is a glare source. But there's 3 dots on your lenses. One for the optical center, the other 2 tells me it is oriented and they're just perfectly. Want to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. And hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. Now, the measurements, the coordinates for the left lens has mirrored the right. Same pupillary distance, same optical center height. If that was different, I would enter those values now, but I can keep those the same. Always like to make sure the lens is large enough, and it is. And hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now, this is the blocker, this is the tracer, this is the edger. But before I get to the edger, I always like to point out the reason why I use Zeiss now. I was an Essilor man for years, but Zeiss documents everything, and that way you can keep this for your medical records. If your doctor asks you casually what you're wearing, hand them this piece of paper and say, "Doc, I'm wearing the Zeiss Light D digital," is what the D stands for, freeform progressive lens, 18 corridor length. And of course, this is a polycarbonate polarized that has the prescription for the right eye here. For the left eye, your progressive power on both sides, your pupillary distance, the fitting height where the progressive goes, and I even include the base curve of the lens. Now, you have no power whatsoever for distance. You only need these for reading, but you don't want to do over-the-counter on and off reading glasses. But because these are digital freeform progressives, they have compensated powers for distance and reading. All of that is here. The laser engravings that you'll find on the lenses, a layout chart for your optical staff in case they want to read that themselves. And again, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. Ooh, I know it's a bad joke, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. So, again, this is the Edger. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you won't need this guy with the 2 thumbs and the bad jokes to do it for you. The actual cutting wheel is this diamond-crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center is going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now I'm going to wake up the computer. This is job ID number 2987. 2987, or as I like to say, installment 2987 of my 330 million volume series of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. So spoiler alert, stay tuned for episode number 330 million because it's going to be wacky. So I'm going to wake up the computer. Well, actually I've already done that. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that material, but we're going to stick with polycarbonate because it's my lens material of choice, and I'll explain why in just a moment. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens. I'm actually not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens or the rear concave surface of the lens. I will do that by hand at the very end. But I'm now going to press the sticker on there firmly. Now the magnet's going to do a job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Hit the green start button, the door closes. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame on the first go round. And you can see as it's tracing the shape of the right lens. And then the old Jewish carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. Oh, it didn't do it because of the safety bevel. Okay. The old Jewish carpenter saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But the water in the background is there to catch the optical sawdust that will come off the lens from the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, meaning that no water sprays onto the lenses while they are cutting, unlike plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex that cut wet, meaning that water sprays on all 3 of those lens materials while they are cutting. Now, water will spray onto your lenses, David, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away the optical debris that you see beginning to form on the edge of your lenses. But, as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact, ballistics-grade lens material. That's why I like polycarbonate. The same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. It has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin there in Charlotte. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied, which is important because your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin to UV light. Now, the other nice thing about Zeiss, they have partnered with the American Cancer Society because they offer the most complete UV protection, offering protection all the way up to the wavelength of 400 nanometers. Everyone else stops at 380, and that's why you have the complete protection from Zeiss. So water has begun spraying onto the lens, which tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. It is on the bevel wheel. And now normally the safety bevel would be applied, but I'm going to do that by hand, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So in just a moment I will open this door with my mind. If you like that, I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours, but then I can do it. So I'm going to make sure all the optical sawdust is off. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm about to add more. So there's still a little bit of rough edges on the back surface of the lens. I'm going to very lightly put a safety bevel on the back surface of the lens. The reason why I don't put it on there for sunglass lenses is that it can form a white ring on the back of the lens cosmetically, and I want the lens to be as dark as possible. So, But the reason I put a safety bevel on there to begin with, because we're about to see if the lens is going to fit first time around. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corners first. Using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. It does not snap in. So the reason why I put the safety bevel by hand is that I want smooth edges, that when I push down on the lens to see if it fits, I don't want any sharp edges to come into contact with your frame, possibly marring or damaging the finish of the frame. I'm going to take it down 0.2 of a millimeter, place it back into the magnet, hit retouch, and I'm going to take 0.2 of a millimeter going all the way around the lens until it easily snaps into the frame. It's a corny saying, but the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra at the beginning. Now, a lot of people who are in a hurry will use heat to make the plastic more pliable, but the problem if the lens is a little too large, it would cause your frame to stretch or roll, as we in the industry call roll. If you can imagine your frame with this bevel being like the gutter on your house, if the lens were too large, it applies force going all the way around. Now these are the thickest portions of your frame, so the bottom being the skinniest will roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic look as well as shortening the life of the frame. I cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide, so you want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses. It's not like you live next door. Well, so you're not that far away theoretically speaking, but I want to make sure it's perfect first time around. Again, come back down, put a very light safety bevel on your lens. Run my thumbnail around to get all of that off. All right. So I'm going to tuck this in at the outside corners, using my thumbs pressed down at the nose. Now it snaps in there easily. Flip that over to L. Place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, the Chuckarama, or today I'm calling it the David. Hit the green start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by the 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the left side. And of course, knowing where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. And look at that, David. You got no edge thickness whatsoever. You got nothing there, I tell you. You got nothing. All right, so I'm going to take this block off, use my hand-approved drying method, throw that back in there. Do something with that piece of paper. Let's clean that up. Let's put that there. Let's put that under there. I'm going to take the sticker off the lens, add to my sticker collection. We're going to come down here to the lensometer. Dry everything off here. Put the axis wheel, actually, I'm going to put it in just over that black dot and read the power. Where am I? There we go. And I am getting 0, no power whatsoever. In the optical world, we call 0 plano, which a lot of people call a city in Texas. But so you need no magnification nor minification. You're neither nearsighted nor farsighted. You do have 2.5 diopters of magnification that you need for reading. So you can see just fine far away. You're 20/20, but you need 2.5 diopters. Now the unit of measurement you use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. Starts at 0 and goes up in quarter increments, 0.0, 0.25, 50, 75, 1. So you're on the 10th rung of a ladder for magnification. If your arms were longer, you would not need this, but eventually one day you started playing trombone where you're trying to read, and that's why you need that magnification. But that's amazing that you need no distance correction and only reading power. So essentially you have the coolest pair of reading glasses made. Now this frame, the Christian Eyewear John 3:16 sells for $249 frame and progressive packages. The upgrade to Polarized Gray is $69 for a total of $318 tax-free. The reason why I point out tax-free is I'm in North Carolina, as is David. But North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device. There is no tax charged or collected on medical devices. So that's why I don't have to charge tax on any of the glasses that I ship all over the world. So we're going to clean everything up here. Come down here. I have the side I'm working on closest to me, tuck it in at the outside corners, use my thumbs, push down at the nose, it snaps right in. Take this block off, dry everything off, add to my sticker collection, come down here, place the dot over that black dot, and not only have to turn the wheel, we're still at 0. Now the last parts of final inspection is I measure the pupillary distance and the optical center height. Your PD is 34.5 for each eye for a total of 69, a height of 24. Now hopefully we can do this. Let's see. So normally I turn the card around, but you might not be able to see that. Hopefully when I place the PD stick against my thumb, then hold it up to the left lens, let's see if I can find a white background. Can you see that? We're getting 69. Well, now you're not going to be able to read the pen, but I mean the PD stick, but we're getting 69 millimeters. From this dot to the bottom of the, not to the bottom of the lens, but the middle of the plastic, because again the lens goes halfway into the plastic. We're getting 24 millimeters to the deepest portion of the frame. 24 millimeters. Now the last part of final inspection, well actually this is the portion of every video that is I clean your lenses. But I always like to mention that, David, when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments for you if you ask them. So just stop by your local shop. Just tell them if it's too loose or too tight or high on one side. They'll know what to do. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust them. Now, I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in just a moment. But I'm going to make sure these are in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, in the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them down, press down. There is no wobble. Now, when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Now, for those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Same color, black and silver. And let me show you all the colors these are available. And let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Flip this over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. That neither temple is askew like that. Check the tension on each hinge to make sure they're matching. If one was looser, I would tighten it. If one was tighter, I would loosen it. Now, this frame, the John 3:16, comes in 3 primary colors: black, dogwood, and purple. Within each of those colors, you can get it with gold crosses or silver crosses. Same for the dogwood. They can come in gold or silver. And all I did, this comes as sunglasses, but I just took the dark lenses out because there are people who need to wear a larger than average frame for their everyday and may want to wear these as their everyday prescription glasses. And of course, there's the purple. Comes in gold or silver. How many East Carolina fans we got out there? Minnesota Vikings, LA Lakers, LSU Tigers. Who likes that purple and gold? Of course, if there's any purple and silver people, I got that too. Now, I did these also colored dogwood because I figured if you're going to walk up to the bell, ring it. If you're going to do a crucifix frame, I wanted a wood color frame because allegedly Jesus was crucified on a dogwood and God punished it so it would never get large enough to make a crucifix again, and they grow in everyone's yard here. It's just a wild plant, the dogwood. It's actually the state flower of North Carolina. And so this was the very first color I came up with. Black was second, and after thinking about it, I went with majestic purple. Majestic being king of the Jews, but allegedly the Roman soldiers put a purple cloth around Jesus' neck while he was carrying the cross through the streets of Jerusalem. And so that's why I went with purple as a third color. There will be more colors of these coming available. I just had to start with these 3. Now, David, I send out a selfie request in every package. I would love to have your selfie on the website. I also send out cleaning instructions, not only for your frame and lenses, but for the cleaning cloth that I will provide, your Zeiss cleaning cloth, and instructions on how to care for your case, so it too will last you for years. How do you like my design of Christian eyewear? I elongated the T to make it look like a cross. I don't want to boast, but I was rather clever for thinking of that. Now, I also field test every cleaning cloth to make sure that it works. So David, when you get these in the mail and you see the wrinkle in it, you know that it works. You can't tell me that you can't clean your lenses with it. So, I like to remind everyone that Jesus loves you unconditionally. I, however, am just trying to get a like. If you've liked what you've seen here, please click the thumbs up button below. Click this icon in the bottom right hand section if you're watching this on Christian Eyewear to subscribe. If not, if you're watching this on my previous channel, click the red subscribe button. You can also click the bell icon so you'll get future notifications of frame and lens combinations as they become available. You can, if you have any questions, go to the contact me page of the website, or you can email me directly at info@christianeyewear.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Christian Eyewear. The other thing I want to, you can also leave a question or comment in the comment section below and I'll respond to that. So the way you can tell if a lens is polarized, you hear the term polar opposites. When you have another lens, polarized lens, and you hold it on the same meridian, straight across, you can see through it. But when you turn it 90 degrees away, it will block all light from coming through. Same thing on this side. You should be able to see through it, but when I rotate it 90 degrees, it blocks all light. That's how you can tell if a lens is polarized. If you have one known polarized lens, and again, same thing. You can see through those, but when I turn it, it blocks all light. Polar opposites. So, David, thank you for the purchase of your Christian Eyewear, model number John 316 in black, 55 eye size, from Christian Eyewear. All frames designed in the USA. All lenses cut in the United States by a licensed optician. It's good that it's made in America. But thanks for watching, and hopefully now you've seen how I bring God's loving feeling back to glasses. Thank you.